Hello everyone, myself Pankaj Otia, and today we will discuss about cyclic process and Carnot cycle. In previous video, we were discuss about limitation of first law of thermodynamics and spontaneous process. Now, one of the limitation of first law of thermodynamics is it cannot explain why heat cannot be converted completely into work for cyclic process. To answer this phenomena or to explain this phenomena, we need another law, that is second law of thermodynamics. And second law of thermodynamics is totally based on Carnot cycle. So to explain Carnot cycle completely, we need to look at cyclic process. So now let's start with cyclic process. First we see a definition of cyclic process. Definition is, if any system retain its original thermodynamic state again after number of successive operation, then entire process is known as cyclic process. Now let's understand cyclic process via this example. This is PV diagram of system. This point represent the initial state of system, and after a certain thermodynamic process, system came back to its original state. So the path followed by the system is known as cyclic process. So for cyclic process, a final thermodynamic state are equivalent to initial thermodynamic state. This is initial thermodynamic state of system, and after a several thermodynamic process, system returns to its original state. So the path covered by or path followed by the system is known as cyclic process. Now why cyclic process are so important? Because for cyclic process, change in all state function is zero. It means a change in internal energy, enthalpy, entropy, Gibbs free energy and work function are zero, because the value of the state function is depend on final state and initial state, and for cyclic process both final and initial state are same, then difference in their value become zero. Now our next important topic is Carnot cycle. The name Carnot cycle or Carnot engine came from its inventor Nicolas Leonard Sadi Carnot. He is physicist and engineer in French military. In that time or in early 19th century, a steam engine came to play a crucial role in industry and transportation. In that time, all need of mechanical power was fulfilled by steam engine. In 1824, Carnot published a book named as Reflection on Motive Power of Fire, and he proposed an ideal heat engine that run at maximum theoretical efficiency. The engine is popular as Carnot engine. Now, before we start Carnot cycle, let's understand some process involved in Carnot cycle. The first one is reversible process. So what is a reversible process? If a process occur in infinite number of small steps, and during each step system remain in equilibrium. So theoretically it take infinite time to occur, and these process are purely hypothetical and imaginary. And for reversible process are occurred at extremely slow rate. And why reversible process is so important? Because in reversible process there was no heat loss. Heat is completely converted into work, but for a single process, not for cyclic process. Next is isothermal process. If during any thermodynamic process a temperature of system is remain constant during whole process, then this process is known as isothermal process. So for isothermal process, delta T become 0, and that's why delta E also becomes 0, because internal energy is depend upon temperature of system. If temperature does not change, then internal energy also does not change for a system. Next is adiabatic process. If a process is said to be an adiabatic process if there is no heat exchange during process. That's why a heat exchange become 0. So for this type of process, system does work by utilizing its internal energy. Now we see the construction of Carnot engine. These are the schematic diagram of Carnot engine. A Carnot engine is a hypothetical concept. It made up of monoatomic gas and frictionless and weightless piston. The Carnot cycle work reversibly and in complete cycle. This is heat source at T2 temperature and this is sink at lower T1 temperature. Carnot engine convert heat into work. So let's say a Q2 amount of heat enter into Carnot engine. A Carnot engine create a W amount of work and unused heat will goes to sink. This heat engine work reversibly and in cyclic manner. We see a cyclic process in PV diagram. So this is cyclic process for Carnot cycle, and this cyclic process consists of 4 thermodynamic process, that is isothermal expansion, adiabatic expansion, isothermal compression and adiabatic compression, and system returns to its original state. So it complete a cycle. Now we see the another diagram of working of Carnot heat engine. This is a cylinder filled with monoatomic gas and frictionless and weightless piston. This is initial state of system, and to complete a cycle, system undergo 4 different process, namely isothermal expansion, adiabatic expansion, isothermal compression and adiabatic compression. So in first step, isothermal expansion is occur reversibly and at constant T2 temperature. So in this process, system absorb a Q2 amount of heat at constant T2 temperature, and by absorbing a heat, system does work, and that is W1. So we can get W1 amount of work by this process. Next process is adiabatic expansion. So heat source is removed from engine and gas is allowed to expand adiabatically. So if a gas expand by itself, so we see the decrease in temperature, that is T2 to T1. So it process also carried out reversibly. During this process we get W2 amount of work. Now these systems are in fully expanded state, and now the system cannot absorb more heat. Now next process is isothermal compression at T1 temperature. Now system does not compress by itself. We need to do a work on the system. So we compress the system by doing W3 amount of work. If we do W3 amount of work, then system release Q1 amount of heat, because the change is isothermal compression. Next process is adiabatic compression. Adiabatic compression occur from T1 temperature to T2, and we need to do a work on the system, that is W4. Now this is initial state of system. So a system returns to its initial state. Now total amount of work we can get during whole process is W is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4. W1 and W2 are work done by the system, and W3 and W4 are work done on the system. Now we have a equation of efficiency of heat engine, that is W net upon Q2, where W net is total amount of work we can get within a system. A Q2 is heat supply to the heat engine. Now we have to calculate the value of W net, that is W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4. So to calculate total amount of work, we need to calculate the work which we can get in each step of process. Now first we start with isothermal expansion. First process is isothermal expansion. Now this is a state of system which is P1 and V1. Pressure of gas is P1 and volume of gas is V1. Now gas is expand isothermally and reversibly. It absorb Q2 amount of heat at constant T2 temperature, and at the end of process the state of system become state B and pressure is P2 and volume is V2. So during this process system absorb Q2 amount of heat and system does W1 amount of work. So according to first law we can say that delta E is equal to Q2 minus W1. Q2 is heat absorbed by the system, that's why a positive sign is here, and W1 is work done by the system, so there are negative sign. And because this process is isothermal process, a change in internal energy is 0. So from this equation, that's why we can say that Q2 is equal to W1. Now W1 is work done by the process, we can calculate by integration P into dV. Now pressure is a function of volume, and the relation between pressure and volume for an ideal gas is given by P is equal to nRT2 by V. So we can put a value of pressure in this equation and we get nRT2 integration V1 from V to 1 upon V dV. The solution for 1 upon V dV is natural log of V, and by putting upper limit and lower limit we get work done by the system which is nRT2 ln V2 by V1. Our next process is adiabatic reversible expansion. This process start with state B which is P2 and V2. The gas expand adiabatically and the temperature of system is dropped from T2 to T1, and the next thermodynamic state of system is state C which is P3 V3, and during this process work done by the system is W2. So according to first law of thermodynamics we can say that delta E is equal to Q minus W2, because W2 is work done by the system, that's why there is negative sign. So for adiabatic process Q is equal to 0, so there is no heat exchange. So we can write this as delta E is equal to minus W. For this process system does not absorb the heat, and although it does work, so it does work by utilizing its internal energy. So internal energy of system is decreased, and the value of internal energy is delta E is equal to negative CV into delta T. The negative sign here is indicating the decrease in internal energy. So it become negative CV. The temperature difference is, here is a T2 temperature, here is a T1 temperature. Final temperature is T1 minus initial temperature is T2. So there is CV T1 minus T2. From this equation delta E is equal to negative W2. So W2 become CV into T1 minus T2. So during this process, work done by the system W2 is equal to CV into bracket T1 minus T2. Next process is isothermal compression. Now gas is in its fully expanded state. Now to return to its original state, a gas need to compress. Third process is isothermal reversible compression. This process start with state C, which is P3 and V3. A gas is compressed isothermally. Isothermal compression of gas release Q1 amount of heat. So Q1 amount of heat is released by the system at constant T1 temperature. So work done on the system is W3, and according to first law we can say that delta E is equal to negative Q1 plus W3 is equal to 0. The Q1 amount of heat is released by the system, so here a negative sign, and work done on the system, that's why there is positive sign. And this process is isothermal process. So for isothermal process, change in internal energy is 0. So for this process, Q1 is equal to W3. We get work done on the system W3 by integrating P into dV. We know the relation of pressure and volume. By integrating this value, we get work done on the system W3 is equal to nRT1 ln V4 by V3. Next process is adiabatic reversible compression. This process start at state D, which is P4V4, and the gas is compressed adiabatically and reversibly to return its original state, and work done on the system is W4. Adiabatic reversible compression start from state D, which is P4V4, and gas compressed adiabatically, so the temperature of gas is raised, it become T1 to T2, and system returns to its original state. Now to compress a gas adiabatically, we need to do work, and the work is W4. So according to first law, we can write that delta E is equal to Q plus W4. For adiabatic process, value of Q is 0. So equation become delta E is equal to W4. Change in internal energy is given by CV into delta T. The temperature is changed from T1 to T2. So we can say that delta T is equal to T2 is final temperature minus T1 is initial temperature. So it becomes CV into bracket T2 minus T1. So delta E is equal to W4. So we can say that W4 is equal to CV into bracket T2 minus T1. So these are the all work which we can get from the system. We put the value of all work in this equation. W is equal to nRT2 ln V2 by V1, which is W1, CV into bracket T1 minus T2, which is W2, nRT1 ln V4 by V3, which is W3, and CV T2 minus T1, which is W4. Now this term T1 minus T2 and T2 minus T1, which is cancel out, and we get W net is equal to nRT2 ln V2 by V1 minus nRT1 ln V3 by V4. There is negative sign because we alter the position of here the V4 by V3 and here V3 by V4. That's why there is negative sign. Now to further simplify this equation, we need to find out a relation between V2 by V1 and V3 by V4. For an adiabatic compression, a state change from P to V2 to C P3 V3, and relation between temperature and volume for an adiabatic process is given by T2 into V2 raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to T1 into V3 raised to gamma minus 1. So these are the relation of temperature and volume for adiabatic process. We bring T2 here and V2 here, we get T2 by T1 is equal to V3 by V2 raised to gamma minus 1. Similarly, for another adiabatic compression, we get a T2 into V1 raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to T1 and V4 raised to gamma minus 1. These are relation for adiabatic process. Now we put T1 here and V1 here, we get T2 by T1 is equal to V4 by V1 raised to gamma minus 1. And by comparing this equation and this equation, the both left hand side of both equation are same. So the right hand side of both equation also become same. V3 by V2 raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to V4 by V1 gamma minus 1. If these terms are same, then the base of this term also become same. So we can write that V3 by V2 is equal to V4 by V1. And if we alter a position of V4 and V2, we get V2 by V1 is equal to V3 by V4. Now we put this value in this equation, we get W net is equal to nRT2 ln V2 by V1 minus nRT1 ln V2 by V1. So from this equation we can say that W net is equal to nR into bracket T2 minus T1 ln V2 by V1. So this is equation of net work which we can get from system. Now we put this value in equation of efficiency, we get W net upon Q2. Equation of W net is nR T2 minus T1 ln V2 by V1 and equation of Q2 is nR T2 ln V2 by V1. In this equation, n number of mole is cancelled, gas constant is cancelled, ln V2 by V1 is also cancelled. We get efficiency eta is equal to T2 minus T1 upon T2, and also we can write this Q2 minus Q1 upon Q2. So this is the equation of efficiency of Carnot cycle, and by this equation we can say that the efficiency of heat engine working reversibly depends upon temperature of source and sink. So that's it for now. We will meet in next video.